Hi, and welcome back to Blue's Garden. This is my 2024 planting garlic video. I'm tripling about the amount of garlic I'm putting in this year, so I built a new raised bed, 16 inches deep, about 32 wide, and 8 feet long. It's about a half meter deep, meter wide, 2.5 long. It is really loose, fluffy soil. 1/3 compost, 1/3 Canadian peat, and 1/3 recycled soil from last year's grow bags. I'm not compacting it at all. I'm trying to sift it and get any big chunks out and just try and keep it as light and fluffy as I can. Filling it with last year's grow bags, and then I've also put in a bunch of peat in there and some compost. Now, once I get it all to the desired depth, I will even it all out and then begin planting. About 2-3 weeks before I plant, I will fertilize. I'm using a fairly even NPK. Dr. Earth's is 463, and then this bone meal, which is higher in phosphorus, 412-0. Both of them are organic and granular. They take some time to really break down. They need soil biology. So I do this a couple of weeks before. And when it gets cooler, I like to plant about 2 to 3 weeks before my first frost, definitely before the first freeze, maybe 4 weeks to give the garlic some time to get going. So this year, I am planting Russian red. It's a hardneck garlic. Chestnut red, also a hardneck garlic. And music. I've planted, last year was music and chestnut red. Planted the Russian red before. So I'm going to start with the chestnut red. I'm going to plant about 5 inches apart and a couple of inches deep here in my world. There's a little measuring right there on the spade. I can see the marks, and so I'm planting about 5 inches apart and 5 inches from the edge or so. Now, when you break apart your clove, try and keep as much of the paper on the cloves, break apart the head, try and keep as much of the paper on the cloves themselves. Some will come off. Don't stress about it, but try not to take too much of the wrapper off. That's there for a reason. This, on hardneck, is actually the hard neck that the cloves grow around inside the head. That's why it's called hardneck. Most of the white garlic you see at grocery stores around New England, that's a softneck. Most of it comes from either California or China. I like the richer flavor of some of these red garlics. Again, I am planting 5 inches apart, a couple of inches down, and the pointy bit of the head of garlic goes pointing up. I did my row about 6 inches apart, so 5 inches from each each clove, and then about 6 inches apart for the rows. Just pulling some seed or whatever is blown in, and then keep going. Chestnut red is the one that I'm planting the most of. Next up is the Russian red. Again, pointy bit up. When you pull a clove of garlic apart, you can see the point. So try and get that point up, because that's where the green will grow up. The green is the leaves that grabs the sunlight that sends it on down. And then the last one I'm going to plant is the music, which is not as much red and purple stripes. Pointy bits up. points of the clove are pointing up, and the blunt side down, which is where the roots will come out. And this is the last of the music that I'm doing. Last thing I will do before we put this bed to sleep for the winter is a couple of inches of a straw mulch. Has no seed in it. A straw mulch on top to help keep in the warmth and keep any weed pressure or anything late fall weed pressure off. And I'll remove that in the spring, but you'll see that in another video. And this is about where the garlic is planted. The music, Russian red, and chestnut red. Probably about 18 cloves of chestnut, maybe 15 of the Russian, and then maybe about a dozen cloves of music. Tiki seems to really like the garlic, and she thanks you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me grow, and that helps you grow.